जय हिंद कैप्टन शशांक, कैसे हो आप?
Jai Hind, Vicky. I'm good. I'm good. I hope you're doing fine.
आई एम डूइंग एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. सो हाउ इज द वेदर इन यूपी?
So right now in Hyderabad, and it is better
हम्म.
than UP. So UP and Delhi and all around, it's more than 50 degrees
या.
during the day. But here it's better
हम्म.
than north.
हम्म.
It is hot, but it is better than north. So some respite.
So I like your cap. The army kid is still in you. The
Yeah, yeah.
hat.
You
So okay.
you you can take
Yeah.
the man out of army, but you cannot take the army out of the man. So
Yes.
it will always
True.
remain.
राइटली सर.
Mhm.
सो लाइक हाउ डिड द आर्मी हैपन टू यू? कि आपने पहले से ही बचपन में ही सोचा कि मुझे आर्मी ऑफिसर बनना है, कि लाइफ लाइफ टुक यू थ्रू दैट जर्नी?
I think life happened, and it was never a plan. It was always there in my heart that I want to do something for the country, but not sure how. Because even during college and we were participating in that time, this anti-corruption movement led by Anna Hazare, and also we were participating in that time. I was in Delhi during my BTech years, and then never thought that I would go into army, but my best friend wanted to go into army. It was his childhood dream, so he also kind of brought me along and filled my form and stuff. But fortunately or unfortunately, he was not selected. I was selected, and then
ओह.
yeah, that's how it is.
दोस्ती यारी.
तो दोस्ती यारी में वो पहुंच तो गए, प्लान तो था नहीं, बट हाँ करना था देश के लिए कुछ, तो आई थॉट इफ करना ही है तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स देयर इज अ बेटर वे टू सर्व योर कंट्री देन joining the army. So yeah, that's what happened.
तो आर्मी में यू हैड द पोजीशन ऑफ कैप्टन.
Yeah, I
सो.
mean, you get commissioned as an officer after you successfully complete the training, and then you get commissioned as a lieutenant, and then get promoted as captain after a certain period of time.
तो ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम आपकी जर्नी कैसी रही है? कि मिशंस कैसे रहे, अगर मैं पूछ सकता हूँ? कि आपके जो मूवीज में दिखाते वो कूल सब गन लेके जा रहे हैं दुश्मनी इलाके में मार रहे लोगों को, आप ऐसे कुछ किया है अपने कारनामे?
नहीं, कारनामे तो होते हैं, बट ऑब्वियसली इट इज नॉट एज ग्लैमरस एंड एडवेंचरस एज दे शो इन द आर्मी, sorry, the movies, right? It is more like you have to be there after a certain period of time. You get bored also. Like there is nothing to do. At the right start of it, I got commissioned from OTA Chennai, and then after successfully completing the training, I got commissioned into Corps of Signals, and that where I got the first posting in Kashmir itself. So hotbed of terrorism and all those operations that were going on there. I landed straight into it, and then in start I also used to feel like, okay, I'm doing something, and then once there is snow and all, first time it was really good because never seen, I belong to UP and Delhi and all those areas, I never seen snow. For the first time I saw snow and all, I was excited. But after certain point it was like, पहले तो था कि बर्फ गिर रही है, अरे वाह बर्फ गिर रही है, कुछ दिन बाद अरे बर्फ क्यों गिर रही है, because everything is restricted, right? Your movement is restricted, your ration and everything, your logistics and everything gets curtailed, and you have to survive on whatever you have. Certain posts are such that they get cut off for 3-4 months, right? So I was at those places in starting, and then had to not just don't, as an officer you don't just take care of yourself, you take care of your men, and then in turn their families and all. You have to be responsible, and so all those things were there. It is not as glamorous as they show in the movies, that you are every day you are not going into operations, right? Every day you are in survival mode. So it's not just the terrorists that you have to survive from, it is the inclement weather, it's the shortage of resources. You get limited amount of resource, even generator, because there is no electricity. You have to use the generators, and for generators you will get limited amount of diesels, kerosene, and etc. for heating purposes also. So you have to ration them in order to survive, right? You, in the extreme weather, when it is really chilly at night, then that is when you use, otherwise you don't waste those resources. Again, ration, fresh ration, which is your sabji and all, that will not come easily. So maybe once a week or 10 days, 15 days it will come. So you have to make do with whatever limited resources you have, the packed stuff and the tinned stuff. then you try and just keep the morale also high. And those, also there are certain like wild animals there, like bhalu or ये सब cheetah, sorry, this what do you call that, leopard, all those wild animals से भी आपको बचना है. So it is every day is a survival, and then you are also missing your home, and you cannot speak. But at that time there was no mobile connectivity. So at like on the base maybe you will get some connectivity, but at the post level there was no connectivity. So you are cut off from the world also. And if you have to speak to your home, then you have to first dial at the base, and then the base guy will dial into the PCO. PCO will in turn call the people you want to connect with. So 3-4 lines of connection you need to make, and everywhere there can be like line break or anything. Then you just give up, like okay, chalo ab aaj ka hi baat ho gaya, and then so all these things are there. It is not as glamorous as they show in movies. That's the point. But yes, at the end of the day, you feel like okay, I am doing this for my country, and I have sacrificed some of my rights and some of my liberties that I had earlier as a civilian for this purpose, and this is for some larger goal, not just like limited to myself. It is for the country and all the people we are leaving behind, right, to protect them and secure them. So you get a good night's sleep. That's how it is.
So in the mountains, did you see any animals that were not like भालू और सब
नहीं, वो
normal
ऐसा
like
येती वेती मैंने नहीं देखा भाई.
येती वेती नहीं
ये
देखा
सब
आपने?
बकवास बातें हैं, ये सब. I don't want to sensationalize saying like मैंने येती देखा, उसका footprint देखा. ये सब फालतू बातें हैं. I don't believe on all this nonsense, and neither does the army. It is just people sometimes get away with their imaginations, and if there are such things, where is the photographs? Nowadays, earlier you can say कि we didn't have resources. We have now drones that can go anywhere. We have satellite. You can look at anywhere. Where are the images? Right? Either you talk about aliens, either you talk about Yeti, or either you talk about whatever, Bhoot, Pisach and all. Where are the images, right? So
Exactly.
it is just to sensationalize people, bring up these stuff, and I don't know. I'm not into this.
Nice. I like that real part of you.
Yeah.
अगर नहीं देखा तो नहीं देखा है, किधर है?
और क्या, फर्जी के इनको सेंसिलाइज करने के लिए और आप बेवकूफ बना रहे हो जनता का. दैट्स नॉट ट्रू.
तो operations में कई ऐसे tough up there were around how many men were under like 60 to 200, right?
See, yeah, it depends. There were sometimes there, when I used to do the adjutant of unit, there are 800 men that I need to take care of, and
800.
yeah. So in a unit there are some 700, 800 odd men. Divided into several companies, and as an adjutant you have to look after these men, their administration, their discipline, their training, and all of that. You have to maintain that, and then with of course under the guidance of your commanding officer, you are responsible for the discipline and administration of those men. So that was that, and otherwise if you go as a company commander, then there are 100 odd men that you need to take care of, and then you are responsible for their well-being as well as welfare and training and also operations. So I was part of Corps of Signals, so we used to go, so there, till now there are several means of communication that we maintain between the units and the headquarters. So one of them is line based, and then some are wireless. So all of that was under us, and we used to maintain that. And then the lines that you lay and they get broken, then you have to go out and repair them at odd places, right? And then you cannot be cut off, because communication is primary and it is of prime importance, right? So for those repairing, and now you don't know, maybe some enemy terrorist has deliberately cut those lines, so that once you come, then they do some counter ambush or whatever. So used to do those kind of operations initially, and then also participated with the infantry units in their operations and stuff like that. So not going into the details, but yes, I mean life is happening there because you are doing the real work. So units that are situated in peace, they are training for war. But units that are situated in hot CICT, that is counter-insurgency, counter-terrorist environment, generally in JNK and then northeast, some places, they are supposed to be in, always in a warlike situation. So we used to have regular operations and stuff like that. And then based on my performance or whatever, they like so much. A normal tenure is of 2 years, but I
Mm-hmm.
stayed there for more than 3.5 years. So,
Mm.
and after, from that also, I got deputed into military intelligence. So after that, I
Oh,
went into intelligence. Yeah. So
okay. So,
that was a different kind of ball game altogether.
so coming back to core signals, बोला ना आपने
Yeah,
core
core of.
signals is that they in movies I do not know if it is right
Hmm.
movies or the
Hmm.
right depiction, but they take that big backpacks around them,
Yes,
the
yes,
radios,
yes,
radio
yes.
frequency
So
they capture to
radio,
the headquarter.
that is just one part of it. That is not just with us.
Mm-hmm.
That is part of every infantry
Mm-hmm.
जो soldiers हैं. They in each section they will have one signalman or like one person who is
Mm-hmm.
responsible for communication. So that is what you are referring to. That is a radio
Mm-hmm.
set,
Oh yeah,
specialized Star Mark 3, Mark 4, or what, I don't remember now, but that kind of set that is issued to each section. So one section is of 10, 12 people, and then they communicate via that radio set. So that is one
yeah.
form of communication that we have in the army.
Okay. Then coming to the next intelligence.
Yeah.
Uh, कोई भी सिलेक्ट हो जाता है कि you have to go through some rigorous process for it.
I mean, they look at people who can perform, and
Mm-hmm.
they also look at people who are, I mean, there are certain set of QRs, right? That person need to have in order to be part of an intelligence unit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they look at those QRs and they take feedback from a commanding officer and other
Mm-hmm.
various, like I served as ADC for my GOC also, the general officers, right, who was there in the
Mm-hmm.
division. So I served as his ADC with two of the GOCs, like who was previously there, and then he got transferred out. The other one who came, I served with him. So they, all those people, they give feedback, take feedback from, and that is
Mm-hmm.
how you get into it.
So, if you could just tell ki actual what do you do? Do you go to a neighboring state or a terrorist region and collect intelligence from there, or do you build a network of people around? Like how is it
So
the intelligence?
intelligence have various forms. What you are referring to is human int, like
Mm-hmm.
building resources
Yeah.
and cultivating resources and getting
Mm-hmm.
information out of them. That is human int. Then there is signal intelligence, then there is electronic intelligence, then there is cyber intelligence. So various forms of intelligence. I was part of some of them. And then there is also counterintelligence, and then there is also internal audit kind of intelligence, like you look at your people. So
Mm-hmm.
there are several forms of intelligence. uh, Depending on where you are posted, you do that kind of work.
Okay. So you were in the army for 6 years, right? Six plus
Yes,
years.
yes, 6 years. So
So in that.
I had some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Due to which my there's a category given to you based on your health,
Mm-hmm.
which is checked every annually, year annually. So I had some issues due to prolonged exposure in high altitude area. I
Mm-hmm.
got admitted, and then they discovered some stuff, and basically asthma and related issues. So they downgraded my shape. I got downgraded to shape 3, which is like lower than normal, this thing. And then that brings you to like just sticking to desk job or stuff like that.
Oh.
So I didn't want to, like, if you are in army, why? I mean, if you have to do desk job, better do it in corporate or somewhere that
Ah,
you will
yeah.
enjoy, right? Weekends off and stuff like that. So I thought I should not be in a place where I cannot lead my men from front. So before I used to do that, used to take them for PT and everything. You have to run before them so that they can run behind you, right? You have to
Mm.
perform. You have to lead by example, right?
Mm.
You cannot just expect, like, for they say you see in movies के officer ने order दिया and बंदे करने लगे, ऐसा नहीं होता है. You go into the unit, they will not respect you. A Subedar major who has like 30-40 years of service will not salute you just like that because you just got commissioned, passed exam and all those. You have to earn that respect. You have to perform. You have to lead by example. You have to, in sports or outside operations or in your work, by taking care of them, welfare and speaking up for them. that is how they come to respect you, and which I sort of earned, and that's how they used to listen to me. Because you are young, 22, 23-year-old, how would you expect a 40-year-old guy, 45-year-old guy, or 35-year-old guy to just come in? Maybe they will salute just for the sake of it, but that salute has to come from within, right? That
Yes,
respect.
true, true.
So that is how they listen to your orders, and like that's how it is.
So, is it common that once you go work in high altitude, once you serve in high altitude, your health degrades? Is it common among
See, it is
Jawans?
very common for Faujis. Especially their knees will give up after some time. Hypertension is very common. Then there is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is very common and a taboo in India. Then a lot of hormonal issues, thyroids and all. All these, like, because see, army life is as it is very tough, right? You are staying at different places with limited resources, staying away from family and all. And over above that, every 2 years you are supposed to move to a new place.
Oh, okay.
And then when you go to a new place, not right away, no, you don't get any accommodation. You get some temporary accommodation. Then you will get your accommodation. You stay for some time, and then there is time to move again.
Hmm.
So all these things, that lifestyle is such that you develop all these health issues, not just in high altitude areas, otherwise also, right? If you go to Rajasthan at this point in time, if you go for exercise, the temperatures are going 50s. And then if you go to Siachen, then the temperature is going negative, 20, 30, 40, right? So human body, which is, let's say, for 20, 25 years you were in your hometown. In my case, I was in Muzaffarnagar or Delhi. You have never experienced extreme weathers, and then suddenly you go and start expecting your body to cope up. But we do it for our country, and we do it for the larger purpose that we have. But sometimes then that army also has strict guidelines for health. Like, they want healthy people, because it is not a
True.
कि आज अगर काम नहीं किया तो चल जाएगा, ऐसा तो नहीं है. You have to be
सही
on
है.
toes every time. You have to give your 110% every time. So that's how the rules are, and then we have to respect those rules.
So, in this 6 years, is there any one thing which you like, one mission which was a near-death experience for you? Is there anything, any mission like that?
I mean, every time a bullet is fired, that is a near-death experience, right? Every time a bullet is fired, not from your side, from other side, and I had a couple of those. And I mean, not going to details of it. It's your training that you have done. That's what they say, right? The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. If you are properly trained, you will act accordingly. Like, if there is a bullet fired, you know what to do. You don't have to think. You just have to act. Your body will act. And that act will come only if you train properly for some times. Right? Regularly you are training. You are training with your men who are supposed to take care of each other. So we have a buddy pair system, right? Every person has a buddy. And then you have to take care of your buddy, then your whole section or platoon or whoever is with you. Accordingly, if you are properly trained, you can avoid casualty, you can avoid such situation. This is what I had gone through. But I mean, one incident that I always share is, like, which is true for life also, right? So when I was in my unit in Kashmir, Kupwara, within the unit, right, within the garrison, they call, in these areas they call cant, but there we used to call garrison, which is an enclosed area which is surrounded by various posts, and it is secured area. And then inside that area you are living a different life. You are normally going to office, and you are staying there 24/7 for several days. Inside the area you are living, and you are going to office, doing normal stuff, doing PT, doing games, basketball and all those you are playing, and normally living your life, going to mass, having a drink or two, or eating dinner and stuff, right? So you get used to a comfort zone or a sense of security that you are in. You don't remember that you are in such hotbed of terrorism. But once you are supposed to go after out of the unit for, let's say, for some operation or some line break or something, or but you have to accompany your men, or some VIP movement is you have to provide security and stuff. So what we had done is, there was a big gate, if you know, right? In Cants they have this big
Yeah.
gate. So in our unit we had this big gate,
Mm-hmm.
and just to break that comfort zone, we had written one line: "सावधान, आज मुकाबला होगा." So every time you cannot miss that line because it's
Yeah.
written in bold and huge, over just above the gate. So that comfort zone used to break instantly with that line. Once you read that line and you realize, okay, I'm not in such a good place, and then you suddenly check your BPJ, so bulletproof jackets and all. You ask your men to check everything. So just that one line, सावधान आज मुकाबला होगा, which is not true कि आज मुकाबला होगा, but it can happen, right? It was such an impactful line. I'll always remember it, and we used to get alert because our monotonous routine say you are going into ops, so you have to break that mental barrier. And that line has stuck with me even whenever I'm feeling low or any such situation. Then you remember that, and then you get alert and start doing what you're supposed to do.
सावधान रहो, मुकाबला हो जाएगा. Nice.
सावधान, आज मुकाबला होगा.
होगा. ओ,
आज होगा.
आज मुकाबला
हाँ.
होगा. Okay.
Yes.
Direct.
Direct.
Direct होगा.
There's no uncertainty. Today it will happen, right?
It will happen.
So that's what it is.
Good. This is actually a good one.
Yeah. So
Well,
I always remember this. This helps me getting alert. Yeah.
So after 6 years in the army, what was next for you? You joined corporate. I saw in your
Yeah.
profile you joined corporate.
Yes.
Was
I
it
did.
fulfilling joining corporate after a not extraordinary life in the army, sitting in one place and just typing off?
I mean, it is, see, everything has their own pros and cons. I cannot say that army life was 100% perfect and everything was hunky dory and everything was. There was stuff that we had to do which I didn't like. There were constantly there were visits because everyone wants to come to such place where there is action. Higher senior ups and all, they used to come. Then we used to get busy into some non-sickle stuff, preparing for their visit and all those. I didn't like that, but at the end of the day there was a feeling, चलो यार देश के लिए ठीक है, ये भी करते हैं क्या. So that was there. And then once you come to corporate, I mean, even today when lot of my course mates that are getting out of the army after completing their terms, I tell them just one thing कि भैया तुमने फौज में निकाल लिया, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. कॉर्पोरेट में लाइक पीपल गेट पिस्ड ऑफ कि अरे मेरे मैनेजर ने कॉल कर दिया और ये कर दिया. व्हाट इज दिस इज नथिंग. You are getting your weekends off, you are getting like nobody's troubling you after certain time, and then all this. So you have that, you come from that perspective, right? Earlier you were into 24/7 job. There is no time off or something unless you are on leave at your home. You can also you can be called back anytime, right? So, but here things are different. So perspective is different, and you start working accordingly and adapt to it. Like the best quality of a Fauji is they can adapt to any situation. Here I try and perform accordingly. I went to reskill myself at IIM Lucknow. So I did a management program there, and that from there I got opportunity to work with Blackstone Group, if you know, private equity. Worked there for some time, tried my hand at startups, failed multiple times, and then again got into YouTube and stuff, so started doing that. So life has been fun. Like I have one philosophy, like every day you get up, go in front of mirror and ask yourself, if it was your last day, would you be doing the same thing? So I think some Steve Jobs mentioned this, and it got stuck with me. So every day I wake up and I go in front of mirror, I ask myself, if it was your last day, would you be doing the same thing that you're doing? And if the answer is no for certain number of days, I don't take much time to change my course. So that is how I'm living my life now. Once I think I did my bit for the country, now I'm trying to help the country economically get better and stuff like that. I tried my hand at startups, failed multiple times, and then got into YouTube, did that, spread awareness of stuff, and yeah, life has been fun then.
Talking about your YouTube journey, recently you had a campaign, or let us say a series, where
Mhm.
you traveled India with rupees 1 and
Yeah,
you raised certain amount for the Indian Army.
yeah,
So
yeah,
could you just tell from where did वो concept किधर से आया? Like I want to travel with just 1 rupee. And
yeah.
how did you make it possible? Because in hindsight it looks 1 rupee. How did he do it? Maybe he had some support, but could you just tell the reality of it?
See, so inspiration was from a YouTuber in America called Rian Trehan. He
Mm-hmm.
did a penny series wherein he did similar thing, but
Mm-hmm.
he did from across America for some Mr. Beast. He wanted to deliver a penny to Mr. Beast or whatever. So that is where I saw this, and I thought this is something good, but I will not do this for fun or entertainment. I will do this because for me, the cause and the goal has to be higher than myself.
Yes.
So
True.
that is where I thought, let me do one thing, like I can do Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and on 15th of August, I start with the flag from Kanyakumari, and I reached on 15th of August to Kashmir, and there I hoist that flag, Tiranga. So this way I can mix some entertainment for the audience, and in return I can ask them to donate for the Jawans who get killed in line of action, or they leave behind their family. So there is a fund that is operated by Indian Army itself, and I partnered with them and a company called Minap who facilitated that, so that entire amount which is raised, that goes directly to them. Nothing comes to me; it goes directly to them. So I wanted to keep that transparency, and you were asking, like 1 rupees. It is possible because I did it earlier. I was thinking how to do it. So what you do is you start with 1 rupees, and then you invest that 1 rupee into something, and then you sell it, and then you earn some money, do odd jobs. I did everything, like right from being a delivery boy for Zomato, Swiggy, and then car cleaning, hotel. I worked in a restaurant, and all those odd jobs, buying like water, selling water, and whatever you can think of. I worked in farm, and by whatever I used to earn, I used to use it for my sustenance, for food, travel, and this is how I was able to complete this whole journey in 30 days.
How was that experience? Was it hard? Because with just limited resources,
Yeah,
you meet a lot of people.
yeah,
So don't you feel a sense of danger? I know you are from the army.
yeah.
You are ready for anything. But
Mhm.
don't you feel a sense of danger when you walk through the streets at night? And certain times you used to approach random
Mhm.
strangers. Stand up
Yeah,
comedy भी किया है आपने. अब
yeah,
अगर
yeah.
joke अच्छा लगा तो ये करो. So
So
तो anyway.
I think it is our inhibition that we think that people are bad. Generally, if you ask me, 90% people are good. There is some 10 odd percent people who are like really bad. But out of also those 10%, maybe there's just 1% odd population which is like criminal and stuff, right? But 90%. So the probability of you meeting a nice person is 9 out of 10, right? They are generally good. I mean, unless obviously if you harm them or say bad stuff, they will reply you back or act accordingly. But if you are good to them, they will be good to you. And especially in India, right? It is such a diverse country, right? Right from Kanyakumari South, and then Mumbai, Gujarat, and all those Indore and Delhi. Everywhere you'll meet different kind of people with different languages and different customs, but love for their country, and love for especially for army personnel, and like general goodwill to help people, it is always there. We think like people are bad, like किसी का accident हो गया, nobody will take care of it, but that is not the truth. If you see, अगर कहीं कुछ हो जाता है, तो there are 100 people who will gather.
Yes.
They will have, someone will help out, someone will do something, someone will just watch, At least we'll get the proof that what happened or whatever. But they will help out. Same thing I experience, like people are not generally bad. It is your experience that shapes your thinking. Maybe you encountered some bad people and then you start thinking कि सब बुरे हैं. But ऐसा नहीं है. 9 out of 10 people are good. And then I encountered such good people, and I was able to also manage. Like it is such a, I mean, cheap, I would say. आपको अच्छे से आप ट्रेन में जाओ, बस में जाओ, you can manage in less amount. You can travel, right? If you go in $1,000, you can travel at any place from any place in India. And then same with food, right? You get so many varieties of food and stuff, like you can manage with low resources, and especially like you just have to maintain that hygiene part of it. But if you can, I first time in my life I stayed in a hostel, dorm, and all those places. Earlier I never stayed in such places, but they were really good. I met so many good people, and I discovered that part of India, right? In Goa I stayed in dorm, in Bangalore I stayed in dorm, like a hostel or kind of people. There were people who were traveling, just living their life, and I experienced that for the first time, and I felt very well.
Any interesting people you met in that journey?
A lot of interesting people, like I have covered them, most of them during my episodes that I used to do. I used to do short 12-20 minutes episode every day, but I tried to cover most of their whatever they, and I also gathered messages for our Jawans. So I used to ask people like, if you have any message that you want to give to our Jawans, because I'm going there, and on 15th August I'll hoist the flag there. So they used to give very good messages for our Jawan. They were very thankful for their service, and they were very grateful for their service. And I covered most of their messages during the episode. So a lot of interesting people, and a lot of interesting experiences I had with them, and conversation. Obviously, I couldn't cover most of it in during the episode, but otherwise the episode will go on. But yeah, I mean, it was good. And then I introduced different challenges also for people to donate more. So I used to have some challenges like, if you donate this much amount, I will do this. If you donate 50,000 or say 1 lakh rupees, so whatever was my money during that day, let's say I'm at 1500 rupees. But if you donate 1 lakh, I will go back again to 1 rupees. So a couple of, I think 2-3 times I had that experience. In fact, if you know the founder of Paytm, Vijay Shekhar Sharma, he donated 1 lakh rupees, and I think I was in Goa, and then I got back. I was at some 800 rupees, and then next day again I had to start with rupees 1. Yeah. So all this good stuff happened.
Nice. So what is the total amount you collected?
I think
I heard 7 lakh plus.
Yeah, 7 lakh plus was the final amount, and that got transferred to the Army Welfare Fund.
So now where is that money gonna be used, if I may
So
ask?
they have a charter. If you go to their website, this money is used for the welfare of the widows, the people who get left behind, their children education, and also if they some people get injured, they lose their limbs or whatever. So that is also where they use this money.
Oh, okay, great cause.
Yeah.
So why only this? Because there are other welfare funds also, but
So I wanted to do this because this is the only fund operated by Indian Army itself. So there is no I trust my organization, right? I don't want to go to any NGO or any other government organization. I have been part of Army. I know how Army operates, and if they do it something, I cannot I can expect full transparency and no corruption or at all. So that is why my point always was where I was initially when I was planning, I was getting stuck at. Nobody was ready to give me a direct transfer to that account. But fortunately, I got, and thanks to Milap, which is a fundraising platform, they gave me a website and a link wherein whenever people used to send that money used to route directly to that particular account. So I wanted that transparency. I don't want it to any money which is being donated by people to come to me or my account or any other account or any NGO. I wanted that money directly to go to them. and that is where Milap helped me. And yeah, I just wanted that because a lot of people do all this stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
they do all nonsense stuff, and I didn't
Was
want to do it because my focus is to do. If I'm doing something, I had to be. If I'm asking my friends, family, my viewers, and all, want to ensure that I give them full transparency, and whatever is being said, it is the truth. So that's why I kept it this way.
beautiful. So that traveler part of me wants to ask you, कितना खर्चा हुआ like from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to Kashmir? What was the expenses you bore?
Uh, Good question. I think I never calculated I should do that, but so for me it was whatever I was earning. That is what it went into. And but with me there was a team of three people. So there was one producer, one this guy camera person, and then the editor also. So they what we used to do is during the day we used to shoot whole day, and then during the night it used to get edited and gets uploaded the next day in the morning. So I had to ensure their stay and all. So I think we spent uh, 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees for the whole four. I think three people for them. My stay, my travel, my this thing, food and all used to come by whatever I earned.
So was this series funded by somebody else or it was
Yeah,
your own money?
we got one sponsor. Obviously, it didn't cover everything, but it did cover some 50-60% of it. Rest was my own money.
Okay.
And even I
Nice.
had promised, like whatever number of subscriber I
I
gain with
I
this
saw that
series,
episode.
I will donate the same personally to
I, s-
that this thing. So I did that
I
also.
saw the last episode, right, where you
Yeah.
donated 1,000 rupees.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that episode.
The number of if there was like more subscriber, I would have donated more. But
Yeah, yeah.
whatever the number I got, I donated
So what is next? Any more series that is going to come up on YouTube or anywhere else?
that. I know. I'm plan. I mean, I did do one odd series after that, but unfortunately, there was not much response. So I need some motivation to get that. Hopefully, in future, if I come up with something, I'll do that. So
This
based on the
is
response, I will
truly
do
an
that.
inspiration. It's truly an inspiration because people here do not travel even if they have tens of thousands of rupees. You travel with just a sikka in your hand. So that is really inspiring. That
Hmm.
motivation is a lot to move forward with 1 rupee and knowing that you should reach there by August 15.
Yeah.
So that did कभी ऐसा हुआ कि you are like अरे possible नहीं होगा
I
do
mean,
not have enough.
every day, I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes by the response our videos were getting, or sometimes by share. I mean, I think when I was about to reach Jaipur or around that time, especially 15, we were 15 days, I think, into the series, halfway into the series. I got little sick also because you are not always on the travel, always and the food and all you are eating just like whatever you are getting, and always doing every day. And the climate also, you are earlier in Goa it was raining all the time, Mumbai it was raining all the time, and but we had to shoot, we had no other way, like we cannot say today we'll just take a break and then we'll shoot next day or whatever. We had to shoot, and 15 days went by, and then I got little sick also, team was also not doing well, but somehow I could not appear weak, although I was feeling so. My team was there, they are doing a hard work. I had to motivate
Yeah.
themselves. Even though I was feeling low, but I never showed it, and never like I just motivated that we have to do it, so we have to do it. There's no other way about it. We obviously will never leave it in between. In any case, we have to reach, and that is what we have decided. It's a mission not just for us, it is Mission Tiranga. It has deep meaning to it. We cannot disrespect the flag by just
Yes.
giving up midway. So that sense was always there. So yes, felt low, but never in order
Gave
to
up.
give up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that is the ah, too much too much powerful those things are.
Yeah.
So
So
what?
when I reached and when I
Mm-hmm,
handed over the flag to the
mm-hmm,
Punjab regiment that was there, right?
mm-hmm,
I that is when it all went away, right? You really accomplished
mm,
something which nobody in India or even now no one has done something like that, and then you are doing it for the country right in front of Pakistan and LOC
mm,
and everything, and all, that was the place where I served also, so it was special for me. So it all came back to me that it is nothing, like what I did is nothing, but this is all worth it.
mm. What did your family and friends say when you told them कि मैं ये कर रहा हूँ 3 लाख खर्च होंगे इतना
Obviously,
टारगेट है?
I didn't tell them all the details, but yeah, I mean, they were not like, even when family is like that. I mean, in my family, there is no one that has ever joined the army, or no one
Mm,
that has ever done startup or business. I am the
mm.
first one who is doing all, breaking all the barriers,
Everything.
and so they have accepted that this guy will be doing what he wants. There's no point telling him not to do something.
Mm,
They were just,
mm,
they were worried also, like my especially mothers are worried, right? So I just
mm.
used to tell them like this is happening and you can watch the episode, and they were like, they were also happy. They were telling the neighbors देखो ये इसका episode and all those things.
मेरा बेटा जा रहा है
Yeah.
1 रुपए लेके.
So
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So was at the end once you raised that 7 lakh rupees. So did you think like और करना है? What next? What next is for Captain Cool?
देखते हैं अभी I took a little break,
Mm-hmm.
focusing on other stuff also, because पैसा खर्च किया तो कमाना भी
Yes.
है, तो
Mm-hmm.
that always I mean looking at the next thing, but only doing it once you are like हाँ ये है चीज करने लायक है, not just कि
Mm.
for the sake of doing it you are just doing it,
Mm.
random vlog बना रहे हैं. I am not into that. If I do something that has to have some deep value,
Impact. Yes.
impact, and across and larger than me, like not just for me,
Mm.
it has to have impact across, at least for my country, right? That is why I always say like I joined the army just because I wanted to serve my country, and even though I'm now outside of army or out of uniform, but I'll still keep doing such stuff which helps my country. Like I keep motivating the youth to join the army. I'll keep doing such missions which spread
Mm.
awareness of the sacrifice that our Jawans do, right? So
Yes.
things like that I will keep on doing, and next whatever I get, something of similar nature, obviously, yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. So now we come to the end of this podcast. Do you have any parting words to say to the people to inspire them, learning from your life?
I think especially for the youth or the young generation that is coming, they should always strive to find that one thing that doesn't feel like work to them, right? Find something they love, right? Find something which feels like work to others but play to you. This is
Mm.
what I feel like. I want to always be doing such stuff which is not boring to me, or like which is exciting to me always. Every day I can
Mm.
talk about it, like we have been talking about in this podcast. I
Mm.
can go on and on, right?
Yeah.
About my experience, what I did. And this is true because I was curious to go into such things. So if
Mm.
you are curious, explore more, explore different, don't get stuck to one line of chain.
Mm.
Like for me it was earlier decided by my family or my
Mm.
parents or my brothers or siblings, right? You have to go do engineering, you have to do this IT job and all those things. That is fine. You can do it for the sake of resources, money, or whatever. But don't let yourself define by that particular skill set or whatever you are doing. You're not just an IT engineer, or you are not just an engineer, or whatever. You can do many other things. And at this point in time, there is no dearth of knowledge. You can go to YouTube, you can learn anything. I mean, I don't know how. I didn't know how to hold a camera. I did an entire web series, right?
Yes.
I can do that. Then so can you. You can learn anything for free. There is hundred of courses available for free over YouTube or any other such internet. You can go and find out. It's you who are not willing or not putting in the effort. So be curious, find that one thing that you love, and I think you can excel at it.
With that, we come to the end of the podcast. Thank you, Captain Shashank. Thank you, Captain
Thank you.
Cool, for all your experiences. And please do great stuff like this for the country. And see you in
Yeah.
the next one. Jai Hind.
Sure, sure. Jai Hind. See you, Vicky. Bye.